Hello everyone, this is your friend Naruto Fix, and we are back with another epic What If Naruto fanfic. Which is, what if Naruto mastered the power of nature transformation? Part 1. If you love Naruto fanfics, then don't forget to like, subscribe, and join the journey with me. So, let's start the fanfic. The birth of the unseen genius. The story begins not with the loud, reckless Naruto everyone knew, but with a boy who, after years of being underestimated, finally decided he would learn instead of merely relying on luck and raw power. After the events of the Mizuki incident, when Naruto had stolen the scroll of seals, he began to wonder, if such power existed in a single scroll, how much more did the shinobi world truly hide? Under Iruka's guidance, Naruto trained hard, but he felt something was missing. His chakra control was always wild, yet his chakra reserves were unmatched. Kakashi once told him, "Greater than, Naruto, your chakra is like an ocean, but without understanding nature transformation, it's just water with no waves." Quote, those words stayed with him. And so began the journey of Naruto Uzumaki, the boy who would one day master every nature transformation the shinobi world had ever known. Chapter 1, The Spark of Discovery. After the Bell test, Kakashi decided to start something unorthodox. While Sasuke trained his fire release and Sakura worked on genjutsu, Naruto was handed an advanced training manual, Fundamentals of Chakra Nature Transformation. Quote, Naruto blinked at the complex formulas and diagrams. Kakashi-sensei, this looks like it's for smart people. Kakashi's visible eye curved into a smile. Exactly, that's why you'll read it, because you're going to become one. Quote, at first, it was torture. Splitting a leaf in half with chakra was harder than learning shadow clones. But Naruto was nothing if not stubborn. He created hundreds of clones, each focusing on different exercises, one burning leaves, another cutting stones, another molding chakra into water. Slowly, he began to grasp what others never could, how to feel the natural elements around him, to let his chakra dance with them instead of forcing them. Weeks turned to months. And one night, as the wind howled through the training field, Naruto stood alone, his hand glowing faintly. He exhaled deeply, focused his chakra, and the air before him sliced clean through a boulder. The first step was complete. He had mastered wind release. Chapter 2, Jiraiya's Return. When Jiraiya took Naruto under his wing, he was surprised. The boy wasn't just loud anymore, he was curious. Naruto didn't just want to learn jutsu, he wanted to understand why they worked. He'd read scrolls late into the night, asking questions about chakra flow, particle movement, and natural energy. Jiraiya chuckled one evening as Naruto built a campfire with a simple flick of wind chakra. Greater than, you remind me of your father more every day. Naruto's eyes widened. You mean, the fourth Hokage? Jiraiya nodded. Minato wasn't just fast. He was a genius with chakra nature. But even he never tried to master them all. What you're doing, Naruto, could change everything. That night, Jiraiya taught him something new, how to infuse chakra into water. At first, Naruto's water techniques were weak. But by using shadow clones, he managed to split the process into hundreds of tiny experiments. Some clones exploded, some evaporated, but slowly, the boy who once failed at the simplest exercises began to bend water to his will. By the time his training in the mountains ended, Naruto could create swirling torrents of water mixed with wind, slicing whirlpools that tore through rock like paper. Chapter 3, The Fire Within. When Team 7 was reassembled before the Chunin exams, Sasuke could barely believe his eyes. Naruto was calmer, more precise. His chakra didn't flare wildly, it hummed like a storm held tightly in his palm. During their battle against Gaara, when the sand's shield rose, Naruto's hands moved instinctively. His wind chakra sliced the sand apart, while bursts of water hardened into jagged shards. He moved with fluid grace, not the wild boy of Konoha, but a shinobi in control of every breath he took. Even Sasuke, wielding Chidori, paused mid-battle. Greater than, what the hell happened to you, Dobe? Naruto just smiled. Guess I learned to stop shouting, and start listening. But deep down, Naruto knew he wasn't done. He had wind, he had water, But there were 3 more natures to conquer. Chapter 4, The Flames of Ambition. After Jiraiya's death, a moment that nearly broke him, Naruto turned grief into purpose. He returned to Mount Myoboku to train, but this time not for Sage Mode. He wanted to go beyond. The toads warned him, few mortals can balance natural energy without losing themselves. But Naruto's will was unshakable. He began meditating for hours, learning to feel the life in every flame, every gust, every grain of earth. He began experimenting with fire release, a power that symbolized both creation and destruction. It didn't come easy. Fire was emotional, volatile, just like him. But when he learned to channel his feelings, his chakra ignited with purpose. Flames danced in patterns around him, never burning, only guiding. Soon, Naruto could merge wind and fire, creating blazing hurricanes, a sight that would later earn him the name, Tempest Flame of the Leaf. Chapter 5, The Earth Beneath His Feet. His earth release training came from an unlikely teacher, Onoki, the third Tsuchikage, impressed by Naruto's diplomacy and power. Boy, the old man rasped, you've got more chakra than 10 Jinchuriki combined, but power without foundation crumbles. Earth will teach you patience. And patience it did. Naruto spent months lifting boulders, reinforcing walls, and sensing vibrations through the ground. Slowly, his chakra adapted, grounding him, calming the wild storm within. By combining earth and water, he learned to form defensive domes and even temporary golems. He began to understand that mastery wasn't about dominance, it was about harmony. Chapter 6, The Final Element. Lightning. It was the hardest of all. Too sharp, too fast, too unstable. But Naruto remembered Sasuke's Chidori, that fierce, piercing sound of 1,000 birds. He wanted to understand it, not copy it. By focusing wind into microcurrents, he began producing natural sparks. Using clone-assisted meditation, he refined the process. It took him years, but one stormy night atop the Hokage monument, lightning bent toward him, as if the sky itself recognized his chakra. When he opened his eyes, they glowed faintly with blue light. The storm had become his teacher. He had mastered all 5 natures. Chapter 7, The Fifth Great Shinobi War. Years later, when darkness rose again, this time from remnants of the Akatsuki and scattered rogue nations, Naruto was no longer the knucklehead ninja of old. He stood at the front lines, cloak of swirling elemental chakra enveloping him. The enemy unleashed armies of shinobi wielding every nature imaginable, but Naruto countered with all of them combined. Fire burned, water surged, wind roared, lightning crackled, and earth trembled beneath his steps. Each strike was a masterpiece of elemental synergy, one that left friend and foe alike in awe. Even Sasuke, standing beside him, smirked. Greater than, you've become everything I once wanted to be. Naruto smiled back. Greater than, and you've become the brother I always needed. Together, they ended the war. Epilogue, The Elemental Sage. Years later, a legend spread across the world, of a Hokage who could command all 5 elements, Hutaug. The next generation not to fight against nature, but with it. Naruto stood beneath the vast sky, now peaceful, his hands resting behind his head. Greater than, guess I finally did it, huh, pervy sage. The wind carried Jiraiya's laughter through the leaves. And for the first time, the world truly balanced, not through fear or force, but through understanding. Even after mastering the 5 natures, Naruto realized that power alone didn't equal harmony. Every element had its own temperament, wind's freedom, fire's fury, water's adaptability, earth's patience, and lightning's intensity. But together, they warred inside him like rival spirits. At Mount Myoboku, he sat in stillness, surrounded by the croaks of elder toads. The great sage Fukasaku watched in silence as Naruto balanced 5 chakras at once, each represented by a different aura arrow. His body. The air shimmered, blue and green flickering through waves of gold and crimson. Fukasaku finally spoke. Greater than, you've done what even the sage of 6 paths disciples couldn't. But tell me, Naruto-chan, what do you feel? Quote, Naruto opened his eyes slowly, pupils glowing faintly. Greater than, it feels heavy. Like the world's breathing through me. I can hear the trees, the wind, the fire underground. But if I lose focus, they'll tear me apart. Quote, he wasn't exaggerating. Once, his control slipped, and the fusion of all 5 natures exploded outward, carving a crater that burned, froze, and sparked all at once. He nearly died that day, saved only by his natural connection to the 9 tails chakra. Kurama had snarled inside his mind. Greater than, idiot, you can't wield the elements like toys. They're alive, and you're barely scratching the surface of what balance means. From then on, Naruto's training wasn't about mastering elements. It was about mastering himself. Chapter 9 The Hidden Element. One evening, while meditating under a waterfall of pure chakra at Myoboku, Naruto's senses drifted beyond the 5 elements. He felt something else, an essence neither hot nor cold, neither solid nor fleeting. He whispered, "This isn't one of them." The waterfall suddenly reversed its flow, rising upward as if gravity had forgotten its duty. In that moment, Naruto felt a pulse deep in his gut, not from Kurama, but from within his own soul. Fukasaku jumped back. Greater than, that's not nature chakra, that's the 6th essence. The 6th essence, the hidden aspect of chakra that tied all nature transformations together. In ancient Toad prophecy, it was said only a being connected to all creation could touch it. Naruto's body glowed in spiraling patterns, water wrapped around fire without evaporating, lightning danced through earth without shattering it, and wind moved like the rhythm of his heartbeat. His shadow clones burst from existence, unable to contain the harmony. Fukasaku bowed deeply. Greater than, Naruto, you've become the elemental balance itself. Chapter 10 The War of Nations. When Naruto returned to Konoha, the shinobi world was fracturing again. The 5 great nations, once united under the banner of peace, were falling into suspicion and greed. Hidden villages hoarded forbidden techniques, each seeking dominance through unique chakra natures. The rakeage of the hidden cloud unleashed a new weapon, the storm division, blending water and lightning to form devastating plasma fields. The hidden rock resurrected ancient particle techniques, while the sand worked on wind-infused puppetry capable of slicing through steel. And in the chaos, the leaf was once again targeted, accused of stealing nature-based scrolls from other nations. Tsunade, now older and weary, called Naruto to her office. Greater than, Naruto, this world doesn't trust power, even yours. But maybe, they'll trust the one who understands it. You've got to stop this before it becomes another great war. Quote, Naruto nodded grimly. Then I'll make them understand balance, even if I have to show it with force. Chapter 11 The Elemental Vanguard. Naruto formed a small team of specialists from every nation, shinobi who believed that nature could be used for peace, not destruction. Karen for sensing, Temari for wind tactics, Sugetsu for water manipulation, Darui for lightning, and Kuretsuki for earth reinforcement. Together, they became known as the Elemental Vanguard. Their mission, stop the spread of forbidden elemental weapons and restore the world's equilibrium. Their first challenge came at the border between the cloud and stone, where a massive experimental weapon was being tested, a chakra cannon that drew energy directly from the planet's magnetic core. As they approached, Naruto sensed it, a distortion in the Earth's rhythm. His eyes widened. Greater than, if that thing fires, it'll tear the world's balance apart. Not just the battlefield, the planet itself. The team moved in. Temari's wind scattered enemy scouts, Sugetsu absorbed their water techniques, and Daru's lightning disrupted senses. But the cannon's core was protected by layers of reinforced chakra barriers. Naruto stepped forward, inhaled deeply, and pressed his hand to the ground. The soil glowed. Greater than, earth binds. Water cools. Quote, wind cuts. Fire purifies. Lightning releases. The 5 elements surged from his body simultaneously, converging into a single spiraling sphere, a fusion of nature itself. He hurled it into the cannon, and the world turned white. When the light faded, the weapon was gone, replaced by a blooming forest of crystallized chakra trees. Naruto stood in the center, exhausted but calm. Greater than, nature doesn't destroy, it resets. The world would remember that line for generations. Chapter 12 The Whisper of the Sage. That night, as Naruto rested near a campfire, he heard a voice in his dreams. Soft, ancient, familiar, greater than, you've walked a path similar to mine, child of prophecy. Quote, Naruto turned, and before him stood Hagoromo Otsutsuki, the sage of 6 paths. Greater than, old man sage. I thought you vanished after Kaguya. Hagoromo smiled gently. Greater than, my essence remains as long as balance does. You have done what even my sons could not. You've brought harmony between the elements, but not yet within the hearts of men. Naruto frowned. You mean peace isn't enough? Greater than, peace built on fear never lasts. Only understanding can anchor the cycle. You must teach the world the rhythm of chakra, not just its strength. When Naruto woke, his body was glowing faintly, a new pattern of markings across his skin, resembling a fusion of all 5 elemental symbols intertwined with the 6 paths crest. The elemental sage had truly awakened. Chapter 13 The Final Lesson. Months later, Naruto found himself standing before the leaders of all villages, the Reikage, Tsuchikage, Kazekage, Mizukage, and Hokage, as they debated over how to divide resources of newly discovered chakra-rich lands. Voices rose, anger flared, and for a moment, Naruto felt history repeating itself. He slammed his hand on the table, and the entire room pulsed with elemental resonance. Flames flickered harmlessly through the air, water spiraled along the walls, and the floor glowed with living moss. Greater than, look at this. Fire, water, wind, earth, lightning, all in one place, all existing without conflict. If nature can coexist, why can't we? Silence fell. Even the Reikage looked away. Naruto continued, his voice steady. Greater than, we keep calling ourselves shinobi, weapons of nations. But we were born from the same chakra that flows through every river, every storm, every heartbeat. The real strength of a ninja isn't destruction, it's connection. Quote, Tsunade smiled faintly. You sound like the sage himself. Naruto grinned. Maybe I'm just a better listener. That day marked the beginning of the Elemental Treaty, a pact uniting all nations under a single chakra doctrine, not of dominance, but of harmony. Epilogue, Legacy of the Elemental Sage. Years passed. Children in every village learned not only hand seals, but meditation with nature. The Academy's first rule became, understand before you act. Quote, on the Hokage monument, a new face was carved, Naruto's, smiling beneath flowing markings that resembled swirling elements. And every year, as storms rumbled over Konoha, people said the wind itself carried his laughter. Because Naruto Uzumaki, the boy once mocked for his failures, had become the one who taught the world how to breathe again. Greater than, there's no strongest element, his voice echoed through history. Only balance. Quote, Naruto sat cross-legged atop a high cliff overlooking the Hidden Leaf village. The morning air was crisp, carrying with it the scent of pine and the distant hum of chakra that lingered over the village. His hands glowed faintly, one wrapped in swirling wind chakra, the other radiating heat like a tiny sun. Sweat beaded down his forehead as he tried to balance both simultaneously. Focus, Naruto, Kakashi's calm voice came from behind him, you can't just force the elements to obey you. You have to understand them. Naruto gritted his teeth, his eyes narrowing. Yeah, I know. But this wind and fire, they don't get along. Kakashi sighed under his mask. That's the point. To master nature transformation, you must make opposites coexist. It's not about strength, it's about harmony. As Naruto concentrated again, wind chakra roared around him, sharp and wild, clashing against the fire that flared on his other hand. The two forces pushed against each other until a spark exploded outward, sending Naruto tumbling backward. He crashed into a tree, smoking slightly. Ow, I thought this was supposed to make me stronger, not barbecue me alive. Kakashi chuckled softly. You'll get there. Remember, even your father and Jiraiya never fully combined elements the way you're trying to. You're walking a new path. Naruto stared down at his palms, the faint residue of wind and fire flickering. A new path, he thought. It wasn't about being better than his father or stronger than Sasuke. It was about understanding everything nature had to offer, the way the world moved, breathed, and lived through chakra. Days later, Naruto found himself deep in the forest training with Yamato. The Anbu captain's wood release made him the perfect teacher for elemental control, especially in learning balance. Wood release requires both water and earth natures in harmony, Yamato explained. You already have wind. To learn water and earth, you need to feel how they move. Don't control them, listen to them. Quote, Naruto sat at the edge of a small stream, dipping his fingers into the flowing water. He closed his eyes, sensing the chakra within. Water moved gracefully, adapting to every shape and obstacle. Earth, he realized, was the opposite, firm, steady, immovable. If I can find the rhythm between them, maybe I can create something even greater. Yamato watched silently as Naruto focused, his chakra pulsing outward in waves. Pebbles rose from the ground, hovering in the air, as the water around them began to spiral upward. For a brief moment, both earth and water danced together, before exploding in a shower of mud. Naruto sputtered, wiping his face. Ugh, I hate mud release. Yamato smiled. That was actually quite good. You made the elements respond. That's progress. A week later, Tsunade decided to take a personal interest in Naruto's training. If you're going to mess with multiple nature transformations, she said, crossing her arms, you'd better have a body that can handle it. Quote, she slammed her fist into the ground, sending cracks rippling through the training field. Physical reinforcement, medical chakra control, chakra network expansion, I'll train all of it into you. Naruto paled. That sounds painful. Oh, it will be, she grinned. But so is mastery. Thus began a new chapter of Naruto's journey, training his body and chakra system to withstand the violent energies of multiple elements. Each morning he would start with chakra control exercises, channeling nature energy through his body while Tsunade monitored his heartbeat and muscle strain. Each mistake resulted in him nearly passing out, or worse, setting something on fire. By the end of the month, however, Naruto's chakra felt different. It wasn't wild and unstable anymore. It flowed with purpose, smooth when he needed, sharp when he commanded. One evening, while meditating atop the Hokage monument, Naruto felt something new. As he molded his chakra, the wind around him didn't just swirl, it sang. The ground beneath him vibrated softly. The air grew humid as mist rolled in. Lightning crackled faintly at his fingertips. Suddenly, a memory surfaced, of Asuma explaining how chakra nature defined a shinobi's style, and combining them could change everything. What if I combine all of them? Naruto whispered to himself, not just two, but all five. It was madness. Even the Sage of Six Paths was said to be one of the few capable of such balance. But Naruto, with his stubborn spirit and endless chakra, was determined to try. The following day, Naruto summoned clones, hundreds of them, each tasked with mastering a single element: wind, fire, earth, water, lightning. The forest outside Konoha erupted into chaos. Fireballs exploded. Water dragons surged. Trees split open as lightning tore through them. The earth shook from tremors as clones worked tirelessly, repeating elemental combinations endlessly. Kakashi and Yamato stood on a distant ridge, watching in disbelief. He's pushing himself beyond anything I've seen, Kakashi murmured. Yamato nodded. He's not just learning jutsu. He's trying to become the embodiment of chakra itself. Quote, as the sun set, smoke and mist filled the horizon. In the middle of it stood Naruto, tired, bruised, but smiling. Around him floated glowing motes of all five elements, swirling together in a radiant sphere of color and power. He whispered softly, this is what nature feels like. But as that orb expanded, it pulsed violently. The ground cracked, the air shimmered, and a powerful shockwave tore through the forest. Naruto's eyes widened, he couldn't control it. The elements began rebelling, each one clashing within the unstable balance. Damn it, Naruto growled, forming a seal. I won't lose control now. In that instant, a voice echoed deep within his mind, ancient and calm. Greater than, you reach for balance where chaos reigns, yet you forget, Naruto Uzumaki, nature itself is chaos. It was the voice of the nine tails. Kurama's chakra flared, surrounding Naruto in a golden aura. The beast's eyes opened within his mindscape, burning with primal power. You wish to master nature transformation. Then you must master me first. My chakra is nature's raw essence, pure, untamed energy. Quote, Naruto stood firm. Then let's do it, Kurama. Together. The fox smirked. Very well, but this time, there will be no second chances. The ground of Naruto's mindscape trembled as wind, fire, lightning, water, and earth spiraled into a vortex. Naruto plunged his hands into it, screaming as the energies tore at him, threatening to rip him apart from within. But through it all, he remembered Kakashi's words, harmony, not control. He breathed deeply, letting the chaos flow through him instead of fighting it. The moment he stopped resisting, everything changed. The five elements didn't clash, they merged. His chakra turned pure white, radiating power and peace at once. Kurama's eyes widened. You did it. When Naruto opened his eyes, they glowed with shifting colors, amber, blue, green, red, and white. The energy around him pulsed like a living storm. For the first time, Naruto Uzumaki had not just mastered nature transformation. He had become one with it. The night sky above Konoha shimmered with pale silver light, but down below, in a hidden valley near the training grounds, the air itself felt alive, vibrating with the raw pulse of chakra. Naruto Uzumaki stood at the center of a massive crater he'd accidentally created during his latest training. Steam rose from the earth, trees leaned away as if afraid, and sparks of multiple colors danced across his skin. He breathed heavily, his body drenched in sweat, his orange jacket burned at the edges. Around him lay 5 clones, each having collapsed after handling a single element for hours. Wind, fire, water, earth, lightning. Each clone had focused on one nature transformation. Each one had failed, again and again, but Naruto never stopped. He wiped his forehead and forced himself to stand. Come on, he muttered, clenching his fists, if I can't get this right, how will I ever surpass Dad, or even Sasuke? I'm not losing again. Not to anyone. The ground trembled slightly as he began focusing again. This time, he wasn't just trying to control a single element, he was trying to fuse them. His goal wasn't just balance. It was unity. Kakashi and Yamato stood on a high ridge overlooking the chaos below. This is dangerous, Yamato said quietly. His chakra is fluctuating in ways I've never seen. It's almost unstable. Quote, Kakashi's visible eye narrowed, his tone calm but impressed. That's Naruto for you. He doesn't understand limits the way normal shinobi do. He'll either destroy himself, or discover something no one's ever seen before. Quote, below them, Naruto's chakra flared again. The earth cracked open around him, water surged upward, wind howled, and arcs of lightning flickered in the air. The elements spun around him like a storm given form, a chaotic dance of nature. His hands moved instinctively, forming complex seals that he didn't even know he knew. Wind style, fire style, combine. He shouted, but before the words could finish, the energy exploded outward. A blast of searing heat and cutting air ripped through the valley, sending dust and light everywhere. Kakashi shielded his eye with his hand, Yamato raised a wall of wood to block the debris. When the smoke cleared, Naruto was kneeling, panting hard. But what shocked them wasn't that he was alive, it was the massive spiral mark burned into the earth beneath him, glowing faintly with mixed eleme. Ental energy. Did I do it? Naruto muttered, looking around. Kakashi jumped down, approaching slowly. The glow of the seal faded, leaving the faint scent of ozone and scorched dirt. You didn't just do it, Naruto. You created something new. That pattern, it's reacting to your chakra. It's absorbing it. Naruto blinked, still dizzy. You mean, I made a new jutsu? Kakashi smiled under his mask. Maybe not a jutsu. Maybe something bigger. A week later, training continues. Naruto's training now focused on stability. Yamato helped regulate the chakra surges by using wood release to ground excess energy, while Kakashi guided Naruto through precision control. The blonde Jinchuriki sat cross-legged, eyes closed, while threads of lightning danced between his fingers. His breath came slow and steady as he drew upon water from a nearby stream, letting droplets float mid-air before turning to steam, then back to liquid again. Kakashi watched silently. His control has improved exponentially, he thought. If this keeps up, he might really master all 5 nature transformations before anyone else in history. Naruto's hands glowed again. He opened his eyes, both irises now swirling with faint elemental hues. "Sensei," he said, "I think I'm ready for something harder." Kakashi tilted his head. "Oh, harder than balancing 5 nature chakras at once?" Quote. Naruto grinned, rubbing the back of his head. Hee, yeah, what if I combine wind and lightning together, make it sharper and faster than ever? Yamato's expression turned serious. "Naruto, that's incredibly dangerous. Those 2 elements amplify each other, one cuts, the other overloads. You could destroy your chakra network." Naruto clenched his fists. "I know, but if I never take risks, I'll never reach the level of the Hokage. I'll never protect everyone." Kakashi sighed but smiled slightly. "All right, Naruto. Just remember, control is more important than power. The attempt." Naruto formed a shadow clone and began focusing both wind and lightning chakra simultaneously. The clone helped him balance the feedback, but even then, sparks flew wildly around him. He shaped the chakra into a spinning orb, a Rasengan, but this one was unlike any before it. The sphere wasn't blue. It shimmered with streaks of white and silver, the air around it bending unnaturally. Trees nearby began to crack, the ground fracturing under the pressure. "Whoa," Yamato muttered, eyes wide. "That's not just Rasengan anymore. That's Rasenshiden," Naruto shouted, thrusting the glowing orb forward into a massive boulder. The impact was silent for a second. Then, boom, a deafening explosion split the sky, a shockwave flattening the trees for hundreds of meters. Lightning and wind tore through the air like a storm-given form. When the light faded, a massive crater lay before them, steam rising from molten rock. Naruto collapsed to one knee, panting hard. His arms were burned, but he was grinning. "Hey, it worked." Kakashi stared at the destruction. "You just evolved the Raisin Shuriken into something beyond it." Naruto laughed softly, looking at his hands. "Guess we can call it Elemental Raisin Shuriken." Quote. Discovery of a new path. Days later, Naruto began to experience something strange. When he walked through forests, leaves rustled toward him. When it rained, droplets avoided him slightly, as if respecting his presence. His chakra had started harmonizing with nature itself. He realized, he wasn't just manipulating nature, he was becoming part of it. One night, while meditating, he entered sage mode, but this time, something was different. His eyes glowed not with the usual orange pigmentation, but with a mix of shifting colors, blue for water, green for wind, brown for earth, red for fire, and white for lightning. The energy around him pulsed like a living storm. What is this?" Naruto whispered. Kurama's voice echoed in his mind, calm yet impressed. "You've gone beyond normal sage mode. This is the beginning of something greater, nature ascension. You are aligning yourself with the very core of chakra existence." Quote. Naruto stood up slowly within his mindscape, the water beneath his feet rippling. "You mean, I'm becoming like the Sage of Six Paths?" Kurama smirked. "Hey, don't get cocky, brat. You're nowhere near his level, yet. But you are walking a path that few have ever dared to tread." The test of balance. Tsunade, hearing of Naruto's strange new chakra, called him back to the village for examination. Her eyes widened when she placed her hand on his shoulder. "Your chakra network, it's evolving. It's adapting to balance every nature at once." Shizune, standing beside her, was shocked. "Is that even possible?" Tsunade frowned. "Not normally, but this is Naruto we're talking about." Quote. She stepped back. "If you're going to keep this up, Naruto, you'll need to learn advanced chakra regeneration. Even one mistake could tear your body apart." Naruto smiled confidently. "Don't worry, Granny Tsunade. My body's tougher than you think. The next moment, she punched him through a wall. Then it should handle a little training. Weeks later, the elemental bond. Naruto's progress was astonishing. He began creating new combinations. Storm release, lightning plus water, a swirling tempest that followed his will. Lava release, fire plus earth, molten orbs that exploded like miniature suns. Gale burst, wind plus fire, expanding shockwaves of burning air. His clones practiced endlessly, his mind constantly racing with new possibilities. Kurama watched through the shared consciousness. He's mastering the very forces that define creation itself. But with each success came danger. The more elements Naruto merged, the more the natural world responded. Birds gathered near his training field. Plants grew unnaturally fast. Rain fell and stopped according to his emotions. Even the weather of Konoha began subtly changing around him. A mysterious visitor. One night, as Naruto meditated at the edge of a waterfall, a sudden presence flickered nearby. He opened his eyes, and standing before him was a man in a black cloak with red clouds. An Akatsuki member. Naruto rose instantly, energy flaring. You picked the wrong time to show up. But the figure lifted his hand. Relax. I'm not here to fight. As the moonlight revealed his face, Naruto froze. It was Nagato, alive, his Rinnegan glowing faintly. What? You're... Nagato raised a hand. Listen to me, Naruto. I came because I felt your chakra. It's unlike anything I've ever sensed. You've awakened the pulse of nature itself. Quote. Naruto clenched his fists. So what? You planning to steal it too? Nagato shook his head. No, I came to warn you. The balance of nature isn't meant to be controlled. Every action you take ripples across the world. If you keep going, you might awaken something ancient, something even the sage feared. Naruto's eyes widened. Something ancient. What do you mean? Nagato looked toward the horizon. There is a power sleeping beneath the world, a chakra older than life itself. You are touching its essence without realizing it. Be careful, Naruto Uzumaki, or the elements you command may command you. With that, he vanished, leaving only a faint echo in the wind. The awakening. Naruto sat alone after Nagato's warning, staring at his hands. For the first time, doubt crept into his heart. Could mastering all nature really disturb the balance of the world? Could it awaken something terrible? He looked up at the stars, remembering Jiraiya's words, the true strength of a ninja is not how much power they control, but how much peace they can bring. Naruto smiled faintly. Then I'll master this power, not for destruction, but to protect everything connected to nature itself. Quote. He closed his eyes and began meditating again, drawing in energy from the wind, water, earth, lightning, and fire around him. His body glowed softly as his heartbeat synchronized with the pulse of the planet. Far away, in the depths of the earth, something stirred. A faint rumble echoed across mountains, rivers, and deserts, like the whisper of an ancient god awakening from slumber. Naruto's eyes snapped open, glowing with the light of 5 elements intertwined. Whatever was coming, he would face it head-on. Because he was Naruto Uzumaki, the shinobi who could master the very essence of the world. The sun dipped below the horizon, bathing Konoha's forests in amber light. Deep within the hidden training grounds, the air shimmered like a living aura. At the center of it all stood Naruto Uzumaki, alone, determined, and more focused than ever. His hands were outstretched, 5 shadow clones surrounding him, each channeling one of the elemental chakras. The atmosphere was heavy with power, the trees swayed not from wind, but from chakra pressure alone. Naruto's breath was slow, measured. He'd been training for weeks now, balancing all 5 natures, and though his body screamed for rest, his spirit refused to yield. All right, he muttered under his breath, eyes narrowing. Let's push this even further. Each clone mirrored his words, glowing faintly, red for fire, blue for water, green for wind, brown for earth, and white for lightning. Slowly, their energies began to flow toward Naruto's center, spiraling together like the strands of a living storm. Focus, he whispered. Balance them, just like nature does. The world seemed to hold its breath. The 5 colors merged into one, a brilliant golden white energy that pulsed with the rhythm of life itself. For a moment, Naruto felt everything: the heat of fire, the freedom of wind, the calm of water, the stability of earth, and the intensity of lightning. His heart matched the beat of the elements, and then, boom! A blinding flash erupted from the training field, a wave of chakra rolling across the forest. Animals scattered, the air howled, and smoke rose high into the sky. When it cleared, Naruto lay on the ground, chest heaving. The field was scorched in a perfect circle, and the air hummed faintly, like a song only nature could hear. Naruto groaned, sitting up. His body was covered in small burns, but his eyes were alive with awe. That was it, he gasped. I felt everything connect. For just a second, I became nature. A slow clap echoed nearby. Kakashi Hatake stepped from the shadows, his Sharingan eye scanning the devastation. I'd say you overdid it, he said casually, hands in his pockets. Naruto grinned weakly. Guess I got carried away, huh? Kakashi smiled beneath his mask. No, you did something remarkable. You didn't just control the elements, you synchronized with them. That's something even most Kage never achieve. He crouched beside Naruto, examining the faint golden marks glowing along his arms. Your chakra network is changing, Naruto. You're not just shaping chakra anymore. You're evolving it. Naruto blinked. Evolving? Yeah, Kakashi replied. It's like your body's adapting to handle the natural balance between all 5 natures. It's almost like Sage mode, but deeper. This is the kind of harmony the Sage of 6 Paths once described. Naruto's eyes widened. You mean, I'm walking the same path as him? Kakashi nodded. Maybe, but that also means your responsibility just got bigger. Quote, Weeks later, the elemental resonance. Over the next month, Naruto's training intensified beyond anything he'd done before. With the help of Yamato and Tsunade's supervision, he developed a technique that channeled 2 or more elemental chakras at once through his clones. At first, it was chaos, explosions, burned fields, shattered rocks. But gradually, the pattern stabilized. His chakra began to flow smoother, lighter, and faster. Each element had a personality, a rhythm. Fire was fierce but passionate. Water was calm but deceptive. Earth was patient but powerful. Wind was swift but reckless. Lightning was sharp but pure. Naruto had to learn not to command them, but to listen. One night, he meditated by the lake. His eyes were closed, his chakra calm. The surface of the water rippled slightly as he exhaled. Focus on the balance, he thought. No fighting, no forcing, just flow. Quote, for the first time, he didn't feel like he was controlling nature, he felt like part of it. The ripples in the water matched his heartbeat. The air swirled softly with every breath. Even the faint light of fireflies moved in rhythm with him. Then, his mindscape shimmered, and Kurama appeared before him. You've changed, brat, the fox said, its deep voice rumbling like distant thunder. Naruto looked up with a grin. You think so? Kurama's tail swayed lazily. I can feel it. Your chakras merging with the natural flow of the world. You're not just drawing energy anymore, you're resonating with it. But that also means, the fox's eyes narrowed, you're walking a very dangerous path. Quote, Naruto frowned. Dangerous. Kurama nodded. The more you become one with nature, the thinner the line between you and it becomes. The sage of 6 paths called it, the balance of existence. Too much harmony, and your individuality begins to fade. You'll lose yourself to the world. Naruto's expression hardened. Then I'll master it before it masters me. I'm not losing who I am, not after coming this far. Kurama smirked. Hey, that's more like it. Just remember, even nature has a will of its own. A new element, ether release. A month passed, and Naruto's understanding reached new heights. He learned to combine 3 elements at once, creating unique hybrid techniques: lava from earth and fire, storm from lightning and water, and dews. Tea from wind and earth. But during one experiment, something unexpected happened. He was training near the cliffs when he combined all 5 natures at once, not to destroy, but to stabilize. He wanted to see if perfect balance could create something new. As the energy built up, the air began to hum with a low tone, deeper than thunder, lighter than wind. The ground beneath him began to glow with golden symbols, and suddenly, everything went silent. The next moment, a soft sphere of pure white light formed between his palms, neither burning nor easing, neither cutting nor heavy. It was neutral. Kakashi and Yamato, watching from afar, were stunned. "What is that?" Yamato whispered. Kakashi's single eye widened. "It's not an element I've ever seen. It's beyond the 5 basic natures." Naruto stared at the glowing sphere. It didn't feel like chakra. It felt like life, like the pulse of creation itself. "I'll call it ether release," he said softly. The moment he released it, the sphere drifted forward and vanished silently. No explosion, no destruction, but every living thing in the area, trees, birds, even the grass, seemed to grow healthier, greener, more vibrant. Naruto blinked in awe. "I didn't destroy anything. I gave energy back." Kakashi stepped closer, or visible even through his mask. "Naruto, you've just recreated what the Sage of 6 Paths once described as the origin chakra, the force that existed before the elemental divisions." Quote. Naruto smiled, exhausted but glowing with pride. "Hey, guess I'm doing okay then, huh?" Kakashi shook his head. "You're not just doing okay. You're rewriting what it means to be a ninja." Konoha's concern. Word of Naruto's new power spread fast. The Hokage's office was filled with serious faces: Tsunade, Kakashi, Yamato, and even elders like Koharu and Homura. Tsunade folded her arms, sighing. "Naruto's growing faster than we can monitor. If he keeps experimenting, he could destabilize the natural energy flow of the entire region." Kakashi spoke calmly. "But he's also the only one who can handle it. He's not seeking power, he's seeking harmony. I've never seen chakra so peaceful." Homura frowned. "Peaceful or not, he's still unpredictable. If something goes wrong..." Tsunade slammed her fist on the desk, cracking it. "Enough. He's not some weapon. He's our future Hokage, and I trust him." There was silence for a moment. Finally, she sighed. "But we should keep an eye on him. Just in case. The world responds. Weeks later, strange phenomena began occurring around the elemental nations. The deserts of Wind Country started blooming with plants. Storms above the Lightning Country calmed unnaturally fast. Rivers across the Land of Fire became clearer, purer. Nature itself was reacting, not violently, but awakening. Naruto didn't realize it yet, but his ether chakra was spreading subconsciously, harmonizing natural energy across the continent. In the hidden villages, shinobi began reporting dreams, visions of a glowing figure standing amid the 5 elements, calling out for balance. Quote, "Even far away, deep in the mountains, a masked figure felt the disturbance. Madara Uchiha, sitting in his dark chamber connected to the Gedo statue, opened his eyes slowly. So, the boy has reached that point already," he murmured. Black Zetsu appeared beside him, whispering, "Yes, he's touching the same energy the sage once wielded. The world itself trembles at his resonance." Madara smirked faintly. "Interesting. Perhaps it's time I see whether the boy is the sage's successor, or his replacement." Naruto's vision. One night, Naruto was meditating under a waterfall when everything went still. The sound of rushing water faded, the world darkened, and he found himself standing in an endless white space. Before him stood a tall, ancient-looking man with 6 Magatama on his chest, a staff in his hand, and calm, wise eyes. Naruto's breath caught. "You're the Sage of 6 Paths." The figure nodded. "You have done well, Naruto Uzumaki. Few mortals have touched the balance of nature and lived. But your journey is not yet over." Naruto blinked. "You mean, this power isn't the end?" The sage smiled faintly. "No, it is the beginning. You have awakened the seed of creation, but it must be protected, not exploited. The harmony you bring can heal the world, or shatter it." Naruto clenched his fists. "Then I'll protect it, no matter what." The sage's eyes softened. "Remember, balance is not just about peace. It is about understanding both life and death. Creation and destruction are 2 sides of the same truth. To truly master nature, you must face both." Naruto's eyes widened as the world around him began to dissolve. The sage's voice echoed one last time. Greater than, soon, you will be tested. The elements you command will seek your heart. If it wavers, they will consume you. Naruto gasped as he snapped back to reality, drenched, shaking, but filled with resolve. The calm before the storm. The next morning, Naruto awoke to find the sky above Konoha strangely bright, the clouds glowing faintly gold. Birds sang harmoniously, and the air felt lighter, almost sacred. He stood at the cliff's edge overlooking the village, smiling softly. Guess nature's smiling too, huh? But far beyond the horizon, storm clouds began to form, not of rain, but of chakra. A deep hum resonated through the world, faint but growing stronger. Kurama stirred within him. Naruto, something's coming. You've awakened the core of the world, and now, the world wants to see if you're worthy of it. Naruto's smile faded. Then let it come. His eyes glowed, 5 colors swirling in perfect unity. I'll prove I can handle it. The days in Mount Myoboku had grown longer, filled with the sounds of the wind rustling through the ancient trees, and the croaking of wise toads echoing through the valley. Naruto sat cross-legged on a stone platform, his eyes closed, his breathing steady. The air shimmered faintly around him. 5 elemental symbols, fire, wind, lightning, earth, and water, flickered in rotation on the ground beneath him like a living seal. He had mastered wind release long ago, but now, with guidance from both Fukusaku and the lingering chakra imprint of Jiraiya's teachings, he had gone far beyond. The 5 nature transformations were no longer separate for him, they were harmonized. His chakra network pulsed in perfect rhythm with the elements, each breath drawing in and exhaling a balance of all 5. The awakening. On that morning, Naruto opened his eyes, and the world itself seemed different. The colors were sharper, the sounds of nature more precise. His connection to the elements wasn't just power, it was awareness. He could feel the heat of magma deep beneath the mountain, the moisture of dew forming miles away, the tiny sparks of lightning from storm clouds in the distance. Fukusaku-sensei, Naruto said softly, his voice calm but heavy with newfound understanding, I can feel everything. It's alive. Fukusaku smiled, pride shining in his ancient eyes. Lad, that be the essence of nature transformation, not domination, but harmony. You've gone beyond what even most sages can grasp. Naruto clenched his fists. Then I can finally protect everyone. I can save the world before war ever starts again. The hidden villages stir. Word spread fast. A young shinobi had achieved control over all 5 chakra natures, something not seen since the Sage of 6 Paths himself. The nations reacted in fear and awe. Tsunade, watching Naruto train in Konoha's training field, sighed deeply. That brat, he surpassed even the wildest expectations. But power like this draws danger. In the shadows, the remnants of Akatsuki stirred. Zetsu whispered to a reformed Madara clone, he's the key, just as the sage was. If he truly controls all nature, he could reshape the world. Meanwhile, Gaara stood on the walls of Sunagakure, sand flowing gently through his fingers. Naruto, you're becoming something beyond human. Training beyond limits. Naruto didn't stop. He built new forms of ninjutsu, elemental fusions beyond imagination. Scorching gale, wind and fire merging to create streams of plasma hot enough to melt steel. Stormfang, lightning and water intertwining into cutting waves of living electricity. Terra Rasengan, a Rasengan mixed with earth chakra that could pulverize mountains. Yet what truly astonished him was the Harmony Rasen Shuriken, a technique using all 5 elements at once, creating a sphere of pure chakra balance that neither destroyed nor corrupted, but cleansed. When released, it erased chaos, burning away evil chakra and restoring nature's equilibrium. Fukusaku watched, trembling with pride. By the great sage, you've done what the Sage of 6 Paths once dreamt of. Naruto only smiled. Then I'll use it to bring peace. For real this time. The return of darkness. But peace never comes easily. As Naruto grew stronger, so did the enemies lurking in silence. Deep within the earth, something ancient stirred, the remains of Kaguya's will, twisted and reborn by the corrupted remnants of Black Zetsu. Power in balance, must be broken, the dark entity whispered. If nature unites, chaos must divide. Black storms began forming across the elemental nations. Rivers ran wild. Volcanoes erupted where none should exist. The world itself was destabilizing, nature reacting violently to Naruto's interference. "Did I do this?" Naruto gasped, staring at the chaos spreading on the horizon. "No," Fukasaku croaked grimly. "Ye awakened balance, but the world's hatred is rejecting it. Chaos seeks to destroy harmony. The elemental war. The five nations united once more, but not in harmony, in fear. Each believed Naruto's transformation had caused the catastrophe. Armies began marching, old grudges reignited. Naruto stood at the center of the storm, both literally and symbolically. Thunder roared overhead, and the ground split beneath him as flames and rain clashed around. "I won't fight you," Naruto shouted across the battlefield, his voice echoing. "This world doesn't need more blood, it needs understanding." But even as he spoke, Jonin and Anbu from every nation launched jutsu. Walls of flame, torrents of water, bolts of lightning, all crashing toward him. Naruto closed his eyes, raised his hands into a seal, and the world went silent. The harmony field expanded from his body, swallowing every jutsu, dissolving it into harmless light. Soldiers froze, eyes wide, as their own chakra calmed. The anger in their hearts faded for a moment. Naruto stood, glowing faintly with five-colored light. This is what peace feels like," he whispered. The final confrontation. But from the darkness came the true enemy, Zetsu Reborn, a black mass of corrupted chakra shaped like Kaguya herself. "You think you can tame nature? Foolish boy. Harmony without control breeds collapse." Naruto's eyes hardened. "Then I'll control nothing. I'll become the balance." He formed the final seal. His chakra flared, five colors spiraling into one pure white radiance. Around him, the five elements formed a rotating halo. As Zetsu lunged forward, Naruto unleashed the true harmony Raisin Shuriken, a sphere that encompassed fire, wind, lightning, earth, and water in perfect synchronicity. When it struck, the entire sky turned gold, the ground shimmered, and nature itself sang. When the light faded, the darkness was gone. The air was calm, the rivers clear, the storms ceased. The sage reborn. Naruto collapsed to his knees, exhausted but smiling. He looked up at the sky, and for a moment, he saw a vision of the Sage of Six Paths standing before him. "You've done what I could not, Naruto Uzumaki," the sage said. "You have given nature a will to protect, not destroy. You are not my successor, you are my equal." Tears welled in Naruto's eyes. "Then, maybe peace can last." The sage smiled faintly. "So long as there is one who listens to the voice of nature, it will." Quote, as the sage's spirit faded, the sun broke through the clouds, shining across a reborn world. Epilogue. Years later, the world was transformed. Villagers no longer fought for dominance, instead, they shared knowledge of chakra and harmony. Naruto, older and wiser, sat beneath a massive tree in Konoha, a tree grown from the chakra of his harmony Rasengan. Children played nearby, laughing, learning to channel their chakra through nature rather than against it. Sakura approached with a gentle smile. "You really did it, didn't you? You changed everything." Naruto chuckled softly. "I didn't change it, I just helped it remember how to grow." As the wind rustled through the leaves, Naruto closed his eyes, feeling the pulse of the world, alive, balanced, and free. The dawn light filtered through the mist over Mount Myoboku, painting the ancient stones with gold. The air was quiet, almost sacred. Naruto sat perfectly still in the center of a circular formation carved into the rock. Around him, five glowing orbs floated, red for fire, blue for water, green for wind, brown for earth, and white for lightning. Each orb pulsed in rhythm with his heartbeat, and with every pulse, his chakra deepened, denser, richer, more refined. A thin stream of sweat rolled down his cheek as the orbs suddenly flared brighter. The air trembled, the tree swayed violently, and cracks split the stone beneath him. It was happening, the final step. The unification of all five nature transformations into one chakra core. "Stay focused, Naruto boy." Fukasaku croaked from a nearby ledge, his tone both warning and encouragement. Too much imbalance, and you'll blow this mountain to dust. Quote, Naruto grit his teeth. I got this, old man. Believe it, but the strain was immense. 5 elemental forces collided inside him: heat, wind, water, lightning, and stone, chaos and harmony at war. His vision blurred, his chakra roared like a storm inside his veins. Yet, through that storm, a memory surfaced: Jiraiya's laugh, Kakashi's calm guidance, Iruka's kind words, and his parents' love. Those voices steadied him, rooted him to who he was. And in that instant, everything clicked. The 5 orbs fused into one, a sphere of radiant gold chakra. The storm ceased, the cracks sealed, and the entire mountain seemed to exhale in relief. When Naruto opened his eyes, they glowed faintly, not with the red of the Kyuubi, nor the orange of Sage Mode, but with a shimmering, multicolored light. He had done it. He'd become the first shinobi since the Sage of 6 Paths to truly master all 5 nature transformations in perfect harmony. A new kind of power. Back in Konoha, Tsunade watched in disbelief as Naruto demonstrated his new jutsu in the training grounds. With a single hand seal, the ground beneath him cracked and erupted into a surge of molten lava, earth and fire combined. Then he spun his palm and unleashed a spiral of water infused with wind and lightning, slicing through boulders like paper while simultaneously freezing them into perfect crystalline shapes. Shikamaru, watching from afar, muttered, "Troublesome, that's beyond anything we've ever seen." Even Kakashi's Sharingan widened. He's not using separate elements, he's molding them together in one flow. Quote, Naruto grinned, his orange cloak fluttering as chakra crackled around him. This is what it means to understand nature, not just use it. He raised his hands, forming a new Rasengan, but this one was different. Instead of a single color, it shimmered with all 5 elemental hues. The moment he launched it, the ground around him warped, leaving a massive crater with perfect symmetry, not destruction, but transformation. Nature listens to him now, Kakashi whispered. The rebirth of balance. Weeks turned into months. Naruto traveled across the elemental nations, using his new power to heal lands ravaged by war. Barren fields blossomed, polluted rivers cleared, and destroyed villages slowly came back to life. People began calling him the Element Sage. But balance has a price. The deeper Naruto connected with nature, the more he felt its pain. Every act of greed, hatred, or destruction echoed through his senses. He could feel the dying forests of the land of earth, the poisoned waters near Kirigakure, the storms raging unnaturally over Kumogakure. He began to realize that nature itself was reacting, not just to humans, but to their emotional chaos. I can fix the world's wounds, he told Tsunade one evening, sitting beside the Hokage monument, but not its heart. Tsunade looked at him with a mix of pride and sadness. That's something no jutsu can heal, Naruto. But maybe, you're the closest anyone's ever come. A threat from the shadows. Far away, in the ruins of the old Akatsuki hideout, dark chakra stirred. Zetsu's remnant essence had survived, and it had learned. The entity had absorbed traces of Kaguya's will and the energy of the tailed beast scattered across the lands. Balance must not exist, the shadow whispered to itself. Conflict feeds creation. Without chaos, the world will stagnate. Quote, using its corrupted connection to nature, it began infecting the elemental balance Naruto had achieved. Volcanoes erupted across the land of fire, lightning storms devastated cloud, and tsunamis crashed against the mist. The harmony Naruto had built was crumbling. Naruto sensed it all at once, the imbalance tearing through the world like an earthquake in his own soul. The sage's trial. Determined to find the source, Naruto traveled deep beneath the earth, into the ancient caverns where the world's chakra converged, the same place where legends said the Sage of 6 Paths once meditated. There, he found it, the corrupted mass of Zetsu's will, pulsing like a living heart, feeding off the energy of the planet. You again, Naruto muttered, stepping forward, his multicolored chakra cloak glowing brighter with each step. Zetsu's monstrous voice echoed, you cannot erase conflict, boy. The world needs destruction to evolve. Quote, then I'll evolve it in my way, Naruto said, forming a hand seal. Through harmony. The battle that followed wasn't fought with fists or explosions, it was fought through energy itself. Lightning met darkness, fire met void, and water clashed with decay. The world above trembled as their chakras collided. Zetsu's corruption tried to consume him, whispering doubts, "You can't save everyone. Peace is an illusion. You'll fail like all before you." But Naruto roared, his voice echoing with every friend he'd ever fought for: Sasuke, Sakura, Kakashi, Jiraiya, Hinata, and even Kurama's deep, familiar growl inside his heart. "I'm not alone anymore. The world doesn't need war, it needs understanding." He slammed his palms together, releasing his ultimate jutsu, the Harmony Raisin Shuriken, Gaia Rebirth. It expanded through the cavern like a sunrise. Darkness dissolved, the earth trembled, and for a moment, every element sang in unison. When the light faded, the corrupted chakra was gone. The world was still again. Aftermath. Naruto emerged days later, exhausted but alive. His friends were waiting. Sakura ran forward, tears glistening, and hugged him tightly. "You did it again, idiot," she whispered. He smiled faintly. "Hey, guess I'm too stubborn to quit." From that day on, the world began to change. The 5 great nations united to form the Council of Elements, sharing resources and chakra knowledge under Naruto's guidance. Children were taught to understand the balance of nature before learning to fight. The shinobi world finally entered an age not of dominance, but of coexistence. And as Naruto stood on the rebuilt Hokage monument years later, his cloak fluttering in the breeze, he looked over the peaceful village. And smiled. "Guess this is what Dad and Ero Sennin always dreamed of," he murmured. Behind him, the wind whispered softly through the leaves, as if the world itself was answering. "Well done, Naruto Uzumaki, the element sage of harmony." Quote, "The sun was setting over the valley of the end, casting a crimson glow over the statues of Hashirama and Madara. The wind carried the scent of earth, water, and fire from distant lands, and for the first time in history, the elements themselves seemed to listen." Naruto stood at the base of the waterfall, his chakra glowing in 5 colors that danced across his skin like a living aurora. His eyes no longer held just determination, they carried understanding. The world around him wasn't just the battlefield of nations anymore. It was alive, breathing, and in tune with him. But peace never lasts long in the shinobi world. A sudden ripple in the air, a distortion in the flow of chakra, made Naruto turn sharply. The water froze mid-fall, and a figure emerged from within the cascade. Cloaked in deep azure robes embroidered with storm symbols, the man's presence distorted the very elements around him. "So," the stranger said, his voice calm but cold, "you're the one who claims to have mastered the essence of nature." Quote, Naruto frowned. "Who are you?" The man stepped forward, and lightning crackled around his feet. "I am Ryomen, the sage of storms, the protector of elemental balance long before your village even existed." Quote, Naruto's eyes widened. "The sage of storms. You're supposed to be dead." Ryomen interrupted with a smirk. "The earth remembers those who shaped it. You've disturbed the equilibrium, boy. By merging all 5 natures, you've rewritten the foundation of chakra itself. Nature's voice has changed, and it's crying out in confusion." Naruto clenched his fists. "I didn't hurt nature. I healed it." "Did you?" Ryomen said softly. "Or did you force it to obey?" The air grew heavy. Clouds gathered, and lightning forked through the darkening sky. Water began to rise around them, circling like serpents of the deep. Naruto's golden chakra flared instinctively, meeting the storm's fury. "Let's see if you truly understand what you've claimed to master." Clash of the sages. The battle began with a roar that shook the valley. Ryomen raised his arm, and the sky split open, torrents of water and fire fell simultaneously, twisting together into molten rain. Naruto leapt upward, forming a series of hand seals faster than thought. Wind style, planetary cyclone. He spun mid-air, releasing a spiral of wind that met the molten deluge and dispersed it in a burst of steam that covered the entire valley. Ryomen's silhouette moved through the haze like a ghost. Impressive, but shallow. Nature is not meant to be dominated. It must be guided. Naruto's chakra flared again. "I'm not trying to control nature, I'm protecting it." Quote, The ground erupted beneath him, vines wrapped around his legs, and the earth turned to mud. Ryomen's voice echoed from every direction. Then prove it, element sage. Naruto slammed his hands together, drawing the 5 elements into a single seal. His aura burned with energy that made even the ancient statues tremble. 5-fold release, primal resonance. The valley exploded with color, fire streams merged with water serpents, wind blades danced with lightning arcs, and the earth itself split into living crystal. It was no longer a battle between men, but between philosophies, harmony versus domination, guidance versus will. And Naruto, despite his exhaustion, smiled. This power, it's not mine alone. It's the world's. I'm just borrowing it. With one last surge, he drew all elements into his palm, creating a massive raisin shuriken swirling with 5 colors. He hurled it forward, and as it struck Ryomen's storm barrier, the explosion lit up the night sky like dawn breaking over creation. When the light faded, the valley was still. Ryomen stood across the river, his robes torn, but a faint smile played on his lips. You've grown beyond what I expected, he said quietly. You've proven that nature does not need chains, it needs compassion. Quote. Then his form began to fade into motes of light. Go forth, Naruto Uzumaki. The world will need your strength, not to fight it, but to remind it to live. The elemental rebirth. Weeks later, Naruto returned to Konoha, his heart heavier yet wiser. He didn't tell anyone about the Sage of Storms, not even Kakashi or Sakura. Some truths, he realized, were not meant to be shared in words. Instead, he poured himself into teaching the next generation. Under his guidance, a new academy curriculum emerged, one that taught chakra harmony before combat. Children learned to listen to the world before molding its energy. Even the forests around Konoha seemed more alive than before. The winds whispered softer, the water sparkled brighter, and every leaf shimmered faintly when Naruto walked by. He would often meditate by the Hokage monument, his cloak fluttering, eyes closed, feeling the pulse of the world through his very soul. Sometimes, Sakura or Hinata would join him, sitting silently beside him, sensing the calm that radiated from his presence. But beyond peace, a shadow was growing. The hidden rift. Deep underground, in an ancient shrine buried beneath the land of earth, something stirred. The remnants of Ryomen's storm energy had seeped into the planet's core, and within it, something older awoke. A voice, ancient and furious, whispered through the veins of the world. Harmony disrupts hunger. Balance breeds stagnation. The age of equilibrium must end. The earth rumbled. Crystals darkened. And from the depths, a blackened hand of raw elemental chaos reached upward. In Konoha, Naruto jolted awake from meditation. The ground trembled faintly, and his chakra flared instinctively. The trees rustled unnaturally, birds scattered from the forest, and the sky flickered between sunlight and shadow. Something was coming, something that didn't belong to the natural cycle of chakra. He stood, looking toward the horizon. Another trial, he whispered. As the wind brushed through his golden hair, the 5 elements stirred within him once more, ready to defend the world that had finally begun to heal. Guess the element sage isn't done yet. Months had passed since Naruto began mastering all 5 nature transformations: wind, fire, water, earth, and lightning. Under Kakashi's initial guidance and with scrolls from the Hokage's vault, he pushed his chakra control beyond normal human limits. Wind came naturally, sharp, fast, and deadly. Fire tested his emotions, unleashing the inner rage of the 9 tails. Water taught him calm and adaptability. Earth gave him resilience. Lightning forced him to channel pure focus and precision. But the real challenge came when he attempted to combine them. The air around him would distort, heat shimmering as different elements clashed and balanced within his chakra network. At one point, Yamato had to intervene when Naruto accidentally melted the ground beneath him by fusing fire and light, turning nature at once. But Naruto persisted. I won't stop, he'd said, fists glowing with multicolored chakra. Because if I can control all this, I can protect everyone. Rainbow, the birth of elemental sage mode. In his relentless pursuit, Naruto ventured back to Mount Myoboku. There, with the help of Fukasaku and the ancient toads, he learned how to channel the 5 elements through Sage Chakra. The process nearly killed him. His body wasn't meant to handle so many conflicting energies. Each transformation demanded a different mental state: rage, peace, determination, patience, and clarity, all at once. But Naruto was never one to give up. One stormy night, while meditating atop a sacred stone, lightning struck the mountain. Instead of dodging, Naruto absorbed it, combining the natural energy of the storm with his own chakra. The result: a new form was born. Elemental Sage Mode. His eyes glowed with 5 swirling colors. His aura radiated energy that made the ground beneath him pulse with life. The sky above Mount Myoboku cleared instantly, as though nature itself bowed to his presence. Even the great Toad Sage, ancient and wise, opened his eyes for the first time in years. Greater than, so, the prophecy child has done it. He has become one with nature itself. Crossed swords the Akatsuki strike. But power attracts enemies. Word of Naruto's newfound strength spread like wildfire. The Akatsuki couldn't ignore it. Pain himself decided to confront him, believing Naruto's power could either fulfill or destroy his vision of peace. The battle was cataclysmic. Pain's gravity powers tore mountains apart, but Naruto countered with wind-fire fusion blasts that could vaporize anything in their path. When the 6 paths tried to overwhelm him, Naruto used Earth-style clones reinforced by lightning armor to keep up with their speed. "Your pain ends here," Naruto shouted, combining all 5 elements into a single Raisin Shuriken. It was massive, glowing like a small sun. When he hurled it, it didn't just explode, it transformed the landscape. Trees sprouted from scorched ground, water flowed from cracks, wind danced in harmony with lightning arcs. It wasn't destruction, it was rebirth. Glowed the true balance of nature. In the aftermath, the battlefield was silent. Pain lay defeated, realizing that Naruto's power wasn't just strength, it was balance. "You understand what I could not," Pain whispered. Naruto smiled faintly. "You can't force peace by pain. You have to grow it." Quote, he helped Pain up, showing that his mastery over nature was also mastery over himself. Cyclone. The final lesson. Back in Konoha, Tsunade, Kakashi, and even the elders watched as Naruto demonstrated his control by creating 5 mini Raisingans, each representing a different element. "I used to think the elements were meant to destroy," Naruto said softly. "But now I know, they exist to protect the world, just like people with different hearts can still come together." Kakashi's single visible eye softened. "You've surpassed every master before you, Naruto." Jiraiya's spirit seemed to echo in the wind, whispering, "That's my boy." Sunrise. The new dawn. As the sun rose over Konoha, Naruto stood atop the Hokage monument, wind flowing through his hair. His chakra shimmered in multiple colors: blue, red, green, brown, and yellow, like a living rainbow of energy. Kurama spoke inside his mind. "Greater than, you've finally done it, Naruto. You've become harmony itself." Quote, Naruto smiled. "Greater than, no, Kurama. We did it." And as the village awoke, the birds singing and trees swaying in the gentle breeze, nature itself seemed alive, connected to the heart of one shinobi who had finally become the bridge between humanity and the world. "Thank you."